All right, welcome to today's lesson. Today's lesson is going to focus on addition and subtraction of fractions. If you take a look at our sheet here, we have an example ready set up for us here. We have two chocolate bars here in green, and in the orange we have our pieces that have been eaten or broken away. And if we count up this chocolate bar here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total pieces. So our denominator is going to be 8. And we also notice over here again we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total pieces as well here that makes up that chocolate bar. Here you can see we have 3 pieces that are orange that have been eaten, so this will be 3 out of 8. And over here we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 8. And now we're going to add them together, and we're going to take a quick look at this right now. When we add our fractions or subtract our fractions together, we don't change the denominator. The denominator stays the same all the way across. The reason for this is because we're still dealing with a total chocolate bar of 8 pieces in our answer. So if I draw my chocolate bar again here, and now I draw my 8 pieces, and I color in all the pieces that we've eaten. We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and over here we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when we do our addition down here, 3 plus 5, that also equals 8. We've now eaten the full chocolate bar. So there's a couple rules when it comes to adding subtraction fractions. Even if you're doing subtraction, same rule applies. So if we simply change this question into a subtraction question, and we did a minus, you would still keep the common denominator the same all the way through, including the answer. And now the last thing we need to remember is that if we're trying to add 2 different fractions together, such as this, plus we can't do this. Before we can add it together and find our answer, we need to make sure that we have common denominators first. So looking at this question, what common denominator do 10 and 5 have in common? Well, we can easily times 5 times 2 to make 10. And that means whatever we do in the bottom, we have to do on top. So that's times 2 up there as well. So this will change completely, and this will now be 4 over 10. Now that I have common denominators of 10, I'm going to have a denominator of 10 here. And I can add the numbers together. 5 plus 4 is 9. So there's 2 things you need to remember when you're doing your addition and subtraction of fractions. Please try to always remember, 1, we do not add or subtract denominators. And our second rule is make sure you always have common denominators when doing addition or subtraction of fractions. I'll do one more question to wrap it up for today. Here we'll do a subtraction question just to make sure you see you can get this one right on your own as well. Today's subtraction question will be so here we have a subtraction question that we want to find an answer to. Remember that we need a common denominator before we can go any further. What does 7 and 14 have in common? We're going to divide this by 2. Remember, we can use division or multiplication to change our denominators. And now our new fraction will be 5 over 7. And now that we have common denominators, we can now subtract this question. 5 minus 3 is 2 over 7. And that would be our correct answer. Sometimes when you do addition and subtraction, sometimes you'll have to find common denominators and do multiplication and division with both sets of fractions. Sometimes you only have to change one of them. Sometimes you do multiplication. Sometimes you use division. If you are finding this difficult, always remember you can practice your multiplication and division facts, and that'll help you out with adding and subtracting fractions. If you have any questions, please make sure you ask. Hope you enjoyed today's lesson.